So the US toy giant Hasbro has cancelled Mr. Potato Head to promote gender equality and inclusion. And after much outcry, Hasbro, the toy manufacturer, had to clarify that actually it's changing the overall brand of that houses Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, but the characters will actually remain. But supposedly, kids will be able to build their own potato head families and make their own minds up about sex and gender. Now, I don't know about you, but I've always found it incredibly creepy, the fascination that some adults seem to have with, one, politicising our children, but two, allowing them or sort of forcing them to explore these themes that I don't think you should have to think about until much later in life. Let our kids be kids. And I'm not sure, well, like I say, I'm just not sure why you'd want them to explore those themes. And you might say, well, this doesn't matter. This is a Twitter storm in a teacup. But it's quite clear to anyone, that Mr. Potato Head, if we laugh about it a little bit, with his sort of Stalin-esque moustache and, of course, having Mr. before his name, whatever gender neutral is, Mr. Potato Head and his wife actually aren't it. And people have been, I think people have just had enough of this attention-seeking bullshit, to be frank, from those who think that putting their sort of their pronouns in their Twitter bios, that they're all of a sudden going to be interesting and gain attention. And I think it tells us about the boardrooms of the West, how obsessed they are by being seen to be progressive, by pandering to those who, do actually, it's like the vocal minority of activists who are obsessed with this stuff, right? And these sort of trendy new words to call yourself. And it matters because, even today, or was it yesterday, there's a tweet by Oreo Cookies, for goodness sake, talking about trans people. You're a cookie company, you're a cookie manufacturer. It's the politicisation of everything. And when it drags our kids into it as well, it starts to become really, I think, serious. And that's why I always find it pretty hilarious when people say, oh, Darren, there's not a culture war, everything's going to be fine and hunky-dory. And we've got these big companies trying to tell us that our kids are going to be damaged if they don't see themselves in our toys or in toys that they play with. I had a dinosaur and a sudden Thomas the Tank Engine set as a kid, and funnily enough, I'm not a T-Rex or a sudden train. I think it's just yet another sign of the massive battle that we have in the most important battle of all, the battle of ideas. And I must say, it's pretty damn hilarious, all of these companies trying to get on the progressive bandwagon whilst manufacturing all of their goods in China. But anyway, that's a conversation for another time.